each of those animals, like you described, have a kind of radius of defense.
Yeah.
So if you accidentally step into its home, into that radius, it can cause harm.
Or make them feel threatened.
Make them feel threatened. There's a defense mechanism that is activated.
Some incredible defense mechanisms. I mean, you're talking about 17-foot black caiman, crocodiles that with significant size that could rip you in half, anacondas, the largest snake on earth, bushmasters that can grow up to be 9 to I think even 11 feet long. And I've caught bushmasters that are thicker than my arms.
So for people who don't know, bushmaster snakes, what are these things?
These are vipers. I believe it's the largest viper on earth.
Venomous.
Extremely venomous with hinged teeth, tissue destroying venom. Like if you get bitten by a bushmaster, they say you don't rush and try and save your own life. You try to savor what's around you. Look around at the world. Smoke your last cigarette. Call your mom. That's it.
So that moment of stasis that is life is going to end abruptly when you interact with one of those.
Yeah. I even have this seemingly...
Can I just pause at how incredibly beautiful it is that you could just reach to your right and grab a piece of the jungle?
It's like even this seemingly beautiful little fern. If you go this way on the fern, you're fine. As soon as you go this way, there's invisible little spikes on there if you want to.
Oh, I see. I feel
see that? So like everything is defended. If you're driving on the road and you have your arm out the side, or if you're on a motorcycle going through the jungle and you get one of these, it'll just tear all the skin right off your body. It's kind of doing that to me now.
So what would you do? Like we're going through the dense jungle yesterday and you slide down the hill, your foot slips, you're sliding down, and then you find yourself staring a couple feet away from a bushmaster snake. What are you doing? You're, for people who somehow don't know, or somebody who admires snakes, who has met thousands of snakes, has worked with them, respects them, celebrates them. What would you do with a bushmaster snake? Face to face.
Face to face. This has happened. I've been there.
It's nice.
I've come face to face with a bushmaster, and there's two reactions that you might get. One is if the bushmaster decides that it's vacation time, if it's sleeping, if he just had a meal, they'll come to the edges of trails or beneath a tree and they'll just circle up, big spiral, big pile of snake on the trail, and they'll just sit there. And one time there was a snake sitting on the side of a trail beneath a tree for 2 weeks. This snake was just sitting there, resting, digesting his food out in the open, in the rain, in the sun, in the night. Didn't matter. You go near it, barely even crack a tongue. Now, the other option is that you get a bushmaster that's alert and hunting and out looking for something to eat, and they're ready to defend themselves. And so I once came across a bushmaster in the jungle at night, and this bushmaster turned its head towards me, looked at me, and made it very clear, I'm going to go this way. And so I did the natural thing that any snake enthusiast would do, and I grabbed its tail. Now, 11 feet later, by the head, the snake turned around and just said, if you want to meet God, I can arrange the meeting. I will oblige. And I decided to let the bushmaster go.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like that with most animals. You know, a jaguar will turn and look at you and just remind you of how small you are.
Like, what did you see in the snake's eyes? How did you sense that this is going to be your end if you proceed?
His readiness. I wanted to get him by the tail and show him to the people that were there and maybe work with the snake a little bit. As an 11-foot snake, the snake turned around and made it very clear, like, not today, pal. It's not going to happen.
Is it in the eyes and the movement and the tension of the body?
It was the movement and the S of the neck. It was as if you pushed me and I went, let's go, make my day.
Yeah.
Like he just looked a little bit too ready. He's like, I love this.
Okay. All right. So you know.
You just know. Whereas like the snake you met last night.
Yeah. Beautiful snake.
Such a calm little thing. He just focuses on eating baby lizards and little snails and things. And that snake has no concept of defending itself. It has no way to defend itself. So even something the size of a blue jay could just come and just peck that thing in the head and swallow it. And it's a helpless little snake. So it's really, it kind of depends on the animal. It depends on the mood you catch them in. Each one has a different temperament.
The grace of its movement was mesmerizing, curious almost. Maybe I'm anthropomorphizing, projecting onto it, but it was...
The tongue flicking was a sign of curiosity. He was trying to figure out what was going on. It was like, why am I on this treadmill of human skin? You know, they're just trying to get to the next thing, trying to get hidden, trying to get away from the light.
Also, the texture of the scales is really fascinating. I mean, it's the first snake I've ever touched. It's so interesting. It was just such an incredible system of muscles that are all interacting together to make that kind of movement work, and all the texture of its skin, of its scales.